Hi guys, it's Alex. Welcome, or less likely, welcome back to my channel because I haven't posted in like 8 months or something. It is currently 12:30 in the morning, which is why I'm whispering. So shh. And for anyone who hasn't seen my channel before, the reason it's set up this way is because I am like a faceless channel, so hence no face. Anyways, let's just get started with the video. Okay, I have a laptop, and not because I have scripted the video, but because I am really bad at remembering things off the top of my head. So, I want to talk about motivation today, and I really want to do this because a lot of my YouTube journey has come from being really motivated to do things, and obviously, like I said, I haven't posted for about 8 months, which is largely due to a lack of motivation. So, I feel like we talk a lot about burnout, but we don't really talk about losing motivation in more subtle ways. And I think when it comes to losing motivation, you don't just lose it because like something bad happened or because you failed or you gave up. It's kind of just more like slowly realizing that the thing you used to love doesn't feel the same anymore. And that realization is much harder to explain than people might think. For me, at least, losing motivation wasn't super dramatic or like, oh my gosh,
I'm done, like that's it.
No, and it also wasn't like waking up one day just deciding I was done. For me at least, like just felt like sitting down to do the thing I've done hundreds of times before and feeling oddly disconnected from it. Opening the app, sitting down to work, trying to start, and then feeling this weird resistance that I never used to feel. And the confusing part was I didn't even hate what I was doing. I just didn't feel connected to it anymore. I think that's the part where people start being really hard on themselves because losing motivation doesn't always look like giving up. And you kind of start telling yourself,
oh, I'm so lazy, like I lost discipline. Other people are being consistent and I'm not being consistent. If I really cared, I'd still be motivated.
But that's not true because motivation doesn't just disappear randomly, and most of the time it changes because you changed. Switching it up a little. Okay, so for me, YouTube is a really clear example of this. If you don't know me, I started posting about 5 years ago, which is like 2020. We don't talk about 2020. Anyways, so that's kind of like middle school years ago. And back then, creating was mostly just fun, like for me. I didn't really overthink it. I didn't have expectations. I wasn't constantly analyzing myself. And now that I'm nearing the end of high school,
oh my gosh, crazy.
I'm a completely different person than I was back then, My values changed, my expectations changed, and the way I want to show up online has changed a lot too. So trying to force myself to create the same way I used to, it doesn't work anymore. And for those of you wondering, you can check the channel, this one, and see that it is not 5 years old. Let's just say it's on my only channel, and I do not have my other one linked to this channel. If you ever find it, good for you, but I'm multi-talented. I'm not gonna say anything else. But so I kind of feel like this is something that no one really tells you, that outgrowing something doesn't mean it was a mistake, and it doesn't erase the effort you put in or the love you had for it, and it doesn't mean that you wasted your time or weren't committed enough. It kind of just means that the version of the thing you used to love belonged to a version of you that doesn't exist anymore, and that is uncomfortable, especially when other people still expect that version from you. And that's honestly a big part of why I disappeared for a while. Not because I hated creating. No, I actually love creating. And not because I regret anything I made. I actually look back at my old videos and mostly just smile and do cringe sometimes, but that's besides the point. I just didn't want to keep showing up in a way that didn't feel honest anymore, and I needed time to figure out what actually mattered to me now, and not what used to work, not what performed well, and not what I was supposed to keep doing for the algorithm and whatnot. So if you're watching this and you've lost motivation for something that you used to love, I don't think the answer is to immediately replace it. As you can see, I haven't. It has been months since I posted. And I also don't think that you need a new passion right away. You definitely don't need to reinvent yourself overnight, despite what this channel has always been based on. Yes, guys, I come from glow up videos. I come from advice videos. that is what this channel is. But I kind of learned that sometimes the most productive thing you can do is pause long enough to understand why the shift happened in the first place. Why don't you like what you're doing anymore? Why don't you feel excited to get up and do it? Because forcing motivation kind of usually just turns something you once loved into something you resent. Hence why it was so hard for me to post until now, among other reasons, but yeah. So going forward, I want this channel to take a different direction. I still want to give advice and ideas and inspiration because I feel like I do have a lot to share and I genuinely love helping people. But I also want this to be a place where I can talk honestly about growth, change, and figuring things out, and without pretending that I always have everything together, because like I said, that's what this channel is based on, or at least like getting your life together, which is good. You should do that, but it's not always realistic. So I kind of want to like, I don't know if you guys have seen this, I don't know if you've seen like the 2026 is the new 2016 TikToks, but I kind of want to be like, I don't know, I want to bring that back too. I want this to feel like an old YouTube channel, like one of those old channels where you could just like sit down with the camera and like chat in the comments. I don't know. Point being is, I miss posting. I want to keep posting again. I've always loved editing. I've been editing since I was so little, maybe like 4 years old. And there is no other place I want to do it besides YouTube. And I miss you guys, if any of you are still here. So, love you all. And I hope to see you on my channel again soon. And if you're here for everything I said, I'm glad you're here. I actually don't remember how to end a video. See you at the next one. Okay, bye for real.